I'm starting to feel as I watch this movie that we're stretching this idea a lot farther than it needs to go. And I think we will definitely talk about that more when we get to our likes and dislikes farther on down the line. So I'm not saying it's bad or particularly good at this point, but it's definitely a movie when you go watch it. You cannot see the first one and be okay with it, but I don't feel like you get an experience like you get out of the first one, which if the first one had ended, that would have been fine. And you would have walked away fulfilled. And this one's a little more open-ended, and that's not always a great feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of what we've been dealing with for the past 15 years. This planned groupings of movies where if we get a first one and it's successful, we will be making sure to add a few more after it. If not, the first one stands on its own for the most part, But the thing is, I can't say anything that you haven't already said, but this is kind of a piecemeal. It is a lead up to something else. It's not really an independent story. And when they try to do an independent story, I don't know, it's hard to tie together. But we should talk a little bit about some of the cast, because that's going to play a big role in this too. Andy Serkis is back playing Caesar. Jason Clarke is in this one as Malcolm. One thing about Jason Clarke, I thought he was phenomenal in the remake of Pet Sematary. I don't know if you ever saw that, but
I saw the original Pet Sematary. I've not seen the remake.
Original Pet Sematary is great as well.
Well, you talk about a crossover franchise potential with that movie and this movie now. Can you imagine taking them out to the bad earth and burying some of these apes out there and getting a King movie out of all this? Oh my God, I'd watch that movie in a heartbeat.
Sometimes ape is better. Gary Oldman is in this, which I was really, really waiting for. I thought that was going to be great. More on that later. Kerry Russell, great. And then we kind of just get into, that guy territory and people playing apes. Bill, I feel like we're kind of already showing our hand a little bit on how we felt about this movie. It's not that it's necessarily something we don't want or we didn't like, but how do I put my finger on it? It tells a story. We follow Caesar and his family. We follow this new group of humans, but it ends with this lead up to the next movie. Sure, we get that. I don't know. Maybe we should just get into our segments. What do you think?
We can. I think I could answer you a little bit, and I think this is where it always comes back to when you essentially do prequels of any kind. Once you set yourself in a series of past events, you know the outcome. You know what's going to happen, and that always takes away the tension of the end result, and what you're left with is the characters, and you have to decide whether you care about how these people live out the moments that they're heading towards. And this particular setting and this particular movie leaves some problems with that. And you've set yourself up for a little bit of an uphill battle trying to sell these kind of things, especially if you take a movie like they got away with it with the first one. They set it far enough back and made an interesting enough thing that was simple about it. But now you're digging into how do we survive to the point we get to, and that can be compelling or it cannot be compelling. And I think that is the perfect point to jump into our segments.